to speak into your life. I take it so seriously. I love all the tweets and all the information that I get through the internet and social media. Response from you saying that you are being blessed by this ministry. The message that I'm going to share with you today will not disappoint you. It will strengthen you, it will empower you, and it will get you ready. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time because I got a burner for you. Take this. How would your life change if everywhere you got ready to go, you had to travel by foot? Imagine how much further and how much longer it would take you to get to a simple distance like Houston if you had to travel by foot. It might be a trip you make once in your life. If you had to walk to Houston, come on. You wouldn't go twice a year or 3 times a year or 4 times a year. You might go once in your lifetime. Imagine how many stops you would have to make along the way. If you and your family got ready to go to Houston and you traveled on a donkey, how long would it take you to get there? So then it's not just how far you have to go in your destination, it's the circumstances that you have to travel with. Sometimes you are very close to your destination, closer than you think, closer than you imagined, closer than you would have believed possible. And the enemy can't change the distance. It is as close as it is. When you're close, he can't stop you from being close. And the Holy Spirit will let you know when you're close. You are nearer to your salvation than when you first believed. You are closer now than you've ever been in your life. Have you ever had those words from God? Don't give up, don't give out, hold on. The blessing is close. The blessing is close. You're near to it. You're on the verge on it. You're on the edge. You're about to step into it. It's not the distance. The enemy can't change the distance. He can't take the goal and move it back. In fact, the Bible says, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching to those things which are before, we press toward the mark of the prize of the high calling of God. It's marked. It is where it is. And the devil can't keep moving it back. But it does feel like that sometimes. It feels like every time you're on the verge of finally getting your hands around the thing you believe in God to do, that the devil says, no, I'm moving it back. No, keep coming. I'm moving it back. He can't move it back. He can't move it back. He can't move it back. And it's not far. In fact, it really wasn't far to go from Egypt to the promised land. It wasn't far. It should have taken a few days, about 3 days to get there. 3 days. It ended up 40 years. Isn't it amazing how something that should have happened quick can take a long time? It's not like they kept moving the promised land. No, come on. No, come on. No, you're not there yet for 40 years. It was always where it was supposed to be. The enemy could not change the destination, but oh, how he can work with them circumstances. The circumstances whereby we travel is what causes our faith to be significant. It's not the distance. You're always close to your blessing. But then when you think about the things that happen along the way, I am learning that it's not even about the destination. The destination is not even important. The destination is preset, precast, already set into place, predetermined by God. These shall be mine. That boy right, you see that boy right there that's drunk and on the bar stool and got crack in his system? He's going to be a deacon in the party. God has already set the end from the beginning. It's already determined. The destination is set. It is not about the destination. It's about the things that happen along the way. the problem with most people when they read the Bible is that they're reading from the other side of the story. We're reading about Jesus and Mary and Joseph 2,000 years later. We know how the story ends. We know everything works out okay. We also know who he is to us, everything. But imagine if you were Joseph and you had found a beautiful young lady that you had been seeing for some time and announced to all of your friends that she was going to be your bride. And you had begun to set in place the things that were necessary to endow her, to give her a dowry and to honor her and to recognize her. But before you could get to the wedding, she started picking up weight. I mean, a lot of weight. All in the middle. She says, Joey, I've been meaning to tell you, I got some circumstances have come up. Circumstances? What do you mean? You're not going to believe this. I've been waiting on a good time to tell you. I didn't know how to tell you this because I'm expecting what? I'm expecting a baby? Yeah, but wait now, don't get this wrong, don't get this wrong. Now, I know this is unusual, I've never been through that like this before, but this is the Lord's doing. Yeah, right. Joseph walked away from her and said, Now I got to live with this. Everybody knows about it too. Have you ever loved and been angry at the same time? Isn't that a feeling? The kind of feeling where you want to slap somebody down the stairs, but then you love them so bad you got to run down there and catch them. I know y'all are Christians, y'all don't feel like that, but you know, to the real people, where are my real people at? You just want to slap them all the way down the stairs and then you run down there and catch them and say, don't hurt yourself. So Joseph said, okay, I'm going to put you away privately. He said, I'm going to get out of this privately. In the Bible, an engagement was like a marriage. It required a bill of divorcement to get out of it. So he said, we're going to discreetly go down to the lawyer and just sign the papers and we'll get out of this. And then when he's getting ready to go down to sign the papers to put her away, and she's distraught because she told him the truth and he doesn't believe her. And you know how it is when a woman tells you the truth and you don't believe her. I told you this. No, I don't. I told you this and you don't believe me. That's what's wrong. I thought you would believe. And the angel has to speak to Joseph and say, fear not. That is in Mary is conceived by the Holy Ghost. Now he's really confused. Because now he's trying to believe something that common sense tells him couldn't be possible. His faith and his reasoning are now in conflict. He has now told her that he's about to give her a bill of divorcement. Now God has said that she's telling the truth. Now you have got to go back and tell somebody that you have already said, I don't believe you, that maybe you are right. And on top of all of this conflict that's going on, she's so upset, she has gone over to her cousin's house, who's been shut up for months, who's pregnant too. You know, which is basically, I'm going home to mama. Your friends are saying, man, you know, dog, you know. Can you imagine what Joseph's friends must have been telling him? You ain't got to do this, man. Conflicted. Can you imagine what it'd be like to be married and be telling somebody the truth and them not truly believe you? And now they're trying to go along with it, but they've already exposed the fact that they was going to get rid of you. How comfortable are you with the guy who's told you that he's getting ready to get rid of you? And here they are going down the road trying to deal with this issue, and now, on top of all of this, a new tax has come out. And in order to deal with the taxation, you have to go back to the city that the groom is from to pay the bill. Now we got a debt we weren't expecting. We got a baby we weren't looking for. We got a crisis that makes me look like a fool, and we got to walk to Bethlehem. They walking down there by foot with a pregnant woman in the heat of the Middle East. No air conditioning, no fan, no music, no padded seats. She's pregnant on a donkey in the heat, traveling through the hot sands, inconvenience, with somebody that you at odds with on the night before Christmas. And all in the back of her mind, she's hearing God saying, "Hail Mary, you've been highly favored amongst women."
Still to come on The Potter's Touch.
While Joseph and Mary was knocking on the hotels, looking for their blessing, there were 3 wise men coming with gold and spikenard and precious ointment, and they were looking for them. And I want to tell somebody who's been looking for your blessing, if you just stand still, your blessing is looking for you. Eyes have not seen, ears. People will follow you if you inspire them.
He knows how to move you to the next level.
If we have this information, then we're not going to make so many mistakes after all.
I want to learn more and more so I can impart to my people.
You just have to come and meet the people who've made it happen.
Having vision and purpose will help us fulfill the destiny that God has called us to.
It's not too early to register for the International Pastors and Leadership Conference 2016. Think yourself clear. Register online today at pastorsandleaders.org.
She's already pregnant. It's already hot. She's about to go into labor. The relationship is not going good. She's pregnant by the Lord. And you trying to deal with this and be respectable and trying to believe that God is somehow in this situation. Have you ever had a situation and you was trying to believe that God was in it? I mean, you know, God must be in this somewhere. I don't know where, I don't know how, I don't know what he's up to, but God has got to be in here. Hello, are you in there? Hello, God, where are you? It always looks like that on the night before. God, where are you? Hello, 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 hello. Job said, I looked for him on the right, he was not there. I looked for him on the left. Have you ever looked for God in your situation and said, where are you? This is the worst time in the world for me to be dealing with this mess. God, where are the promises? Where's the stuff Bishop been preaching about? Where are the 7 steps to the turnaround? Where is the unprecedented? Hello, hello, hello. And David warned us about this. He told us specifically, weeping may endure for a night. Lord, I wish he'd have told me how long the night can be. Lord, have mercy. That's another thing I didn't picture right. I thought he was just talking to me about, about 6 or 8 hours or something like that. That's not the kind of night he's talking about. This is a long night. This can be months and months and months of night, like you're in Alaska, just night. This can be in the hospital for months and months and months, night. The night can be so long you can lose your car and your house and your credit rating. It can be a long night. And he says, weeping may endure for a night. I can picture Joseph and Mary and a couple of goats and a chicken and a donkey traveling down the road, she half talking, he's half talking. And now they finally got to a place to stay, and the innkeeper come out talking about, I sure would love to help you. I really would love to help you, but there's no room. Just go down. Look, I've been walking, no, it's not that further, but just I don't know, maybe about a week down the road, and to the left, there's another inn over there, and I know him. He'll be glad to take care of you. And he walks on down there, and they say, well, you know, if you'd have just got here sooner. Have you ever had somebody tell you, if you'd have just got here sooner? After about 3 hotels or 4 rejected him, now he's got to go back and say, look, Mary, this is really tough too. Things didn't look so good the night before. And the thing that amazed me, because I'm in the families and trying to understand families and building the strength of families and all of that, I would have thought that the Lord would have came into a very functional, happy, robust, loving relationship. But the Lord picked a couple of folks who probably wasn't even speaking. Can Christ be born in a dysfunctional situation? Can Christ be born into a family that's backed up in payments to the IRS? And can he be born in a relationship where communication has withered? And can he be born into a situation where the bills are high? And can he be born into a situation where the provisions are not what you wanted them to be? He handpicked those circumstances. He handpicked them. Let's talk about where he could have been born. He could have been born in a cathedral. He could have been born in a synagogue. He could have been born in a mansion. He could have been born to rich people. He could have been born with servants and maids and attendants. He could have had 10,000 angels to take care of him. But no, he is born without a physician, without a midwife, without a nanny, without a bottle, without anything. He is born out there with nothing and nobody on a dirty, dusty road where either Joseph or Mary got to bend over and cut the cord. And he says, Jehovah Shammah. Jehovah Shammah means I am there. I am present. I am there in the midst of trouble. I am with you. I'm not the kind of God who just shows up when things are going well, but when all hell is breaking loose and the circumstances are adverse and it seems like things are getting worse instead of better, he said, I chose you. Me, I chose you. Me, yes, in your situation. Me and Fred not getting along with it. He said, yeah, that's why I chose you. My bills are backed up. That's why I chose you. I had to move back here with my mama. He said, that's why I chose you. My strength is made perfect in weakness. I show off when all hell is breaking loose in your life. I chose you. Because I am not just the God of the morning. I am the God of the night before. I am not just the God of the victory. I am the God of the battle that preceded it. Touch somebody and tell him he's the God of the night before. He's the God of the night before. He's the God of the night before. I found out anybody will get with you in the morning. Anybody will be there when things get right. Anybody will show up when you get the breakthrough. Anybody will be there when you get the car. Anybody will be there when you get the house. But I need a God who will walk down a dirty, dusty, lonely, frustrated, aggravating, irritating road with me. When I was working sometimes 50 hours a week and pastoring after work and doing funerals on the weekend and traveling for miles and trying to get gas money and taking pop bottles and selling them to get gas to go teach Bible class, if I would have known that it was going, if I'd have had any idea that it was going to end up in Dallas, Texas at the Potter's House with 30,000 members and 350 people on staff, it wouldn't have been so bad. But the problem with the night is that when you're in the night, you cannot see the morning. Weeping may endure for a night. I just wonder what God has in store for you in the morning. Hold on. Hold on! Oh! Oh, I better quit because I feel something. I feel something. I feel something. I feel something. I feel something down in my soul. I feel something telling somebody to hold on. You see, while Joseph and Mary was knocking on the hotels looking for their blessing, there were 3 wise men coming with gold and spikenard and precious ointment, and they were looking for them. And I want to tell somebody who's been looking for your blessing, if you just stand still, your blessing is looking for you. Eyes have not seen, ears. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Somebody don't have enough money for Christmas. Somebody don't have enough money for next month. Somebody don't have enough money for next week. But just look over your shoulder. Goodness and mercy. Oh. By the time they got settled in the end, labor pains hit her. Travail broke loose. The baby was born. She's sitting there holding the baby, saying, "Oh, Joseph, look at the baby." He said, "Go back, go. They're talking again. All dressed up in swaddling clothes. Bad don't look bad when good is in it. About the time they was really starting to celebrate, a knock at the barn. Who is that coming in here now? Here come the wise men with gold and silver and precious ointments. And they said, "We've been looking for you all night." I don't know who this is for, but it is prophetic. Your blessing has been looking for you all night long. And if you just be steadfast and unmovable and always abounding in the work of the Lord, you're not going to have to catch your blessing. Your blessing is going to catch you and overtake you and apprehend you. All of a sudden, as they left out the barn with the frankincense and the myrrh and the gold, and they started moving on to their future, they say, Joseph, do you remember the night before Christmas? And we thought we weren't going to make it. But look what the Lord has done. I'm out of time. It's been a real joy to share the word of the Lord with you. I've got to go, but before I go, I want you to know that God has a blessing in your life. It may be wrapped in misery. It may be surrounded by tragedy. It may be interfered with by people who doubt it, but that does not destroy the integrity of what God has said. Hold on to the word of the Lord, and let the word of the Lord hold on to you till you and I can meet again.
If you need a supernatural touch in your life, know that miracles still happen.
It feels like every time you're on the verge of finally getting your hands around the thing you believe in God to do, that the devil says, no, I'm moving it back. No, keep coming. You can't move it back. And it's not far.
Jesus is still alive today and wants to do a work in your life. For your gift of any size, you will receive the message Guided by the Light on CD from the series Miracles Still Happen.
Don't feel like you were an accident. God said, I planned you and I ordained you. I'm guiding you step by step by step by step.
And when your gift is $85 or more, you will receive Miracles Still Happen on 2 DVDs.
He knows what's going on in my house and in my emotion and in my heart. God knows. And if he guided me into it, the same God will.
However, for your gift of $150 or more, you will receive Miracles Still Happen on 2 DVDs, as well as a 2-mug set and 16-piece stationery. Be encouraged and inspired by the power. Coming up on The Potter's Touch.
You cannot surround yourself with blindness and expect to see. You cannot run with packs of angry women and expect to be happy and fulfilled. You cannot hang out with a bunch of defeated, going nowhere, no vision men and be an overcomer. You are who you hang around. So I want to ask you, what is the name of your porch?
This is the Potter's Touch.
Hello, everybody. I'm excited to have this opportunity to share the word of the Lord with you. This is not just a sermon. It's not just a message. This is an excavation of clutter that's stopping you from evolving into what God would have you to be. The message is called Surviving is Not Enough. Stop praying to a mighty God that you would survive. Jesus didn't die so you would survive. He survived. He died so that you might succeed, that you might have life, that you might have it more abundantly. You've been in survival mode so long that for you, success is survival. But I come to tell you there are two different things. The message today is surviving is not enough. Don't be afraid to say it. Surviving is not enough. Gospel of St. John, chapter 5, verse 1 through 13. There you will find the word of the Lord. The pool of Bethesda was designated for the halt, the lame, and the blind. And they congregated there on their porches, each in its own category. They congregated there, surviving in the midst of a completely paradoxical situation. One side, people are busy moving. In fact, they're near the sheep market. Industry is going on, productivity is going on, business is going on, children are playing, commerce is moving, politics are going on, but these are the folk that are stuck. 5 porches for 5 different reasons, 5 different categories. They do not share the same reason, but it has left the same result. One man is blind, that's why he's there. Another man is halt, that's why he's there. He can see, but he's halt, and he cannot move. The other man, he walks fine. He can see good, but he's withered. He's withered. He can't work because he's withered. The only thing they have in common is that each of them have some malady, some trauma, some physical infirmity that has brought them to this place. Now, the Pool of Bethesda is also indicative of the times in which the text is taken. There were no medical hospitals to take these people that they might be made whole. This was a holding place for people who weren't dead but weren't alive, stuck in a state betwixt and between not quite being well enough to enter it into the commerce and the life and the happiness going around them, but not dead enough to be in the cemetery. They were stuck. And every day that they lived, they enjoyed the fact that they had survived. Because in an environment that lends itself to people who have been through catastrophic situations, it is not uncommon to lose somebody every day. So whether you got well or not, instead of celebrating the fact that you got well, to some degree, the very fact that you are still alive is celebration within itself. I want you to understand this because the text suggests a pathology evolves around this pool. A pathology that is given to people who have survived. I want you to listen at them and think about you. Because it is possible to develop a mentality to fit your environment that simply makes the best of a bad situation. I'm not happy. I'm not living my life to the fullest. I'm not getting the most out of my life. So I'm going to bring my expectation down to my reality and enjoy the fact that at least they didn't carry me off to the morgue today. I'm still here. That we're still married. You know how your mama told you still got a roof over your head. Never mind that it leaks and it's caving in and it hadn't been painted for 20 years. Just thank God you still got a roof over top of your head. Some of the torture of the Pool of Bethesda exists in the commerce in which it is surrounded. Because if I am down and everybody else is down around me, then down becomes normal. But what makes down terrible is when you are down and you can still see up. If you're going to keep a people enslaved, don't teach them how to read. Because reading people escape their environment and see lifestyles of other people and dare to warn it. Don't let them have a television because they'll see that all the young people are not barefoot and living in huts. They'll see when people see something beyond them, generally it will make them go after it. I'm a big believer in exposure. Exposing people to different things. A lot of times people don't want anything because they have not been exposed to anything. When we read that the Pool of Bethesda existed beside the sheep market, we don't pay any attention to it, but the contrast is glaring at me. That on one hand, herds of sheep are being brought down to the market to be sold, and commerce and business and life and productivity is going on, and on the other side they're picking their sores and wrapping their wounds because they are stuck in a state of survival. This may be the most important message you will ever hear in your life. Because I am learning as a leader, I don't care how anointed you are. I don't care how gifted you are to speak. I don't care how well you can sing. Just because you're anointed does not mean you escape the subculture that you develop around dysfunction that holds you a prisoner. Sing all you want to. Canaries sing, but they're still in a cage. Preach all you want to, but you can say something with your mouth that you do not live with your life. The blind had a porch. The lame had a porch. And the halt had a porch. You know, when I do workshops outside of the church on leadership and human development, I tell people, if you want to know where you are or what porch you're on, look in your cell phone. Because your cell phone will tell me who you talk to. And whoever you spend your time talking to, that's the porch you're on. Ooh, it's going to be tight this morning, Lord. You cannot surround yourself with blindness and expect to see. You cannot run with packs of angry women and expect to be happy and fulfilled. You cannot hang out with a bunch of defeated, going nowhere, no vision men and be an overcomer. You are who you hang around. So I want to ask you, what is the name of your porch? You can't run around with prejudiced people and not be prejudiced. You can't run around with arrogant people and not be arrogant. What is the name of your porch? Blind people all got together because they understood each other. They enabled each other. They empowered each other. Blind man said, I can't see. The other one said, I know what you mean. One said, I can see shadows. The other said, I can't see anything at all. They developed a system of survival built around what would not go away. Oh, it sounds like our communities. We have systems of survival built around what will not go away. If we could heal it, we would leave it. But since we can't heal it, we make it nice and comfortable and fix it up and say we like it. Nobody likes to be afraid to come out of their house. Nobody likes to be mugged. Nobody likes to have their car stolen. Nobody likes being raped. Nobody likes being broke. Nobody likes being lonely. Nobody likes being fired. Nobody likes being a victim of domestic violence. Nobody likes negativity. But if you're not careful, you will build a system around something that you have lost the faith that it could change. Defining yourself by a dysfunction. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. And I run with the this and the that of it all. You've locked yourself in a perpetual state of dysfunction and developed a cultural survival mechanism to fit what doesn't work in your life. We still have porches today, people. We have porches today. We have hangout spots for whatever you're into. America is full of porches. Some of our churches are porches. Built around like-minded people who hang out together, afraid to get out of your box and away from your tribe and out of your comfort zone so that you can have a real experience. You're stuck on a porch. Now, they are survivors, it is true. They are survivors. They're not dead. They made it. But is surviving the success that Jesus wants you to have? Or did he say, I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly?
Still to come on The Potter's Touch.
That's the way somebody's coming out. You slow, but you coming. You dragging, but you coming. You need a strategy, but you coming. It took you a while to position yourself, but here you come. Blind, but I'm moving. Hard, but I'm moving. Shout yes! People will follow you if you inspire them.
He knows how to move you to the next level.
If we have this information, then we're not going to make so many mistakes after all.
I want to learn more and more so I can impart to my people.
You just have to come and meet the people who've made it happen.
Having vision and purpose will help us fulfill the destiny that God has called us to.
It's not too early to register for the International Pastors and Leadership Conference 2016. Think yourself clear. Register online today at pastorsandleaders.org.
So Jesus comes down to the pool, and the Bible said when he looked around and saw this lame man, and he saw him lying there, and how long he had been lying there, the answer asked a question. You say Jesus is the answer, and I agree with you, and he is the answer, but the answer, the sovereign God, the all-knowing God, the God who is omniscient, the God who has seen the end from the beginning, when he saw this man's position and his condition, the God who knows everything said, do you want to be made whole? I used to think that this was an unintelligent question. Because how could you see somebody who was lame 38 years and ask them, do they want to be well? That seems silly to me. Until I read a little closer, it said when he saw him lie there, when he saw his behavior. You see what I'm saying? You got me, don't you? He said, nothing in your actions lets me know that you want to get up. Oh! So I'm confused. I'm confused. How could you be this sick, this long, and be that comfortable? You mean you got a bed in this mess? You mean you got you a teddy bear and a radio in this mess? And he said, oh God, I feel like preaching this morning. He said, I don't want to disturb you if you like where you are. And I don't know about you, I'm tired of disturbing people who like where they are. So he says, I realize that 38 years you escaped death. 38 years you're still alive. 38 years you made it through. 38 years you're holding on. But I'm just confused. Is survival all you want? Because if survival is all you want, stop praying to me If all you want me to do is sustain you in the same position that you're already in, then leave me alone. He says, wilt thou be made whole? Wilt thou? He said, because I cannot do this against your will. You and I are going to have to be in agreement. I can't tell you how many people I meet who curse their own deliverance. Subconsciously, they sabotage their own success. They run away from them, anybody who loves them, because they don't feel lovable. And if anything starts going too good, they'll find something bad to focus on until they mess it up, because they are hell-bent on staying in their bed. Have you developed an addiction to your affliction? Because even God says, I don't want to take you where you don't want to go. Wilt thou be made whole? Do you want to change? Or do you just want God to make convenient your porch? I want some air conditioning, Lord. Yeah, I want it, man. I want some air conditioning, Lord. If I could have some carpet up in here, sure would be nice. But you're still on the porch, you just decorated it. I want to be able to get me a new dress when I want to go out on the weekends. You're just decorating the porch. Can I go a little deeper? So Jesus asked the man, he said, wilt thou be made whole? And let me ask you, wilt thou be made whole? Then Jesus is confused because he said, I ought to be able to look at your situation and tell you don't want to stay there. But because you seem so comfortable in it, I'm confused. Wilt thou be made? He said, well, yeah, but let me show you why I'm like this. First of all, I'm like this because of what I didn't get. I didn't have anybody to carry me into the pool. It's not that I didn't have opportunities, but when I got the opportunity, I didn't have the support. Mm-hmm. So I'm like this because of who wouldn't carry me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm like this because of where I was raised. I'm like this color of my skin. I'm like this because I didn't have a father. I'm like this because I didn't have a mother. I'm like this because of my first husband. I'm like this because of what my pastor said about me. I'm like this. Oh, I'm losing amens, Lord. I'm losing. They're going down quick too, Lord. You got to give me something, bring them back, because they about gone now. They just about. Anytime you justify your condition, you have given it license to stay. So I'm like this because of what I didn't have. And then the second reason I'm like this is when I did decide to try. I tried a couple times. I did. I dated a couple of times. I did, Lord. I did. When I tried, it didn't go right. I don't know what the world is wrong, but I tried. I tried, Lord. And while I was getting up, somebody got in front of me. I just stayed in. They wanted it. I want to ask the people that want it, do you want it bad enough to get in somebody's way to go get it? Because you can't be polite and get this. There comes a time that you got to say, if you don't want nothing, get out the way. If you excuse me, I got to go for it. Yeah. High five somebody, say, I'm going to get it this year. Yeah, this is my year. This is my year. I survived last year. I'm going to succeed. If survival is not enough, give God a 30-second crazy praise up in here. I know he was lame. I get that. I feel sorry for him. I know that when you're lame, you can't move fast. But he had 38 years. That's the way somebody's coming out. You slow, but you coming. You dragging, but you coming. You need a strategy, but you coming. It took you a while to position yourself, but here you come. Tell your neighbor, survival is not enough. 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 It's not enough. It's not. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not. It's not. I'm out of time. I've got to stop there. It's been a real joy to share this message with you. It is so much the substratum of the way that I think and the way that I feel and the way that God has spoken in my life to teach you that surviving is not enough. For a slave, as long as you got 3 meals a day and a tent to sleep in and a place to go tomorrow, you're happy. But if you're a son of a king, the son of a God, the son of a king, the son of a queen, the son of a mighty emperor, then you understand that 3 square and a cot is not enough. You want more out of life than that, and that's not greed. I'm not talking about greeding or lusting after other people's stuff or being driven by ambition. I'm talking about knowing who you are. I'm talking about standing up in your Father's robe that He's prepared for you. I'm telling you to get off of this survival track and start thinking about succeeding. Surviving is not enough. If you want to follow up and get more information, more material to transform your mind to think like the conqueror you were created to be, I can't come to you personally, but I can come to you through the auspices of my new book, Destiny, and we can discuss it more deeply. You can hit me up on Twitter and Facebook. I could mentor you, as it were, even from afar, to help you to move from survival to success. Have a great one. See you. Shut the door. Wait on the Lord. God's got the victory. He promised to bring you out. Shout yes!
For your gift of any size, you will receive the message God's GPS on CD from the series Now I'm Found.
Do you associate success with money or with prayer? Maybe it's hard for you to pray because you do not draw a line between what you hope for and prayer.
And when your gift is $70 or more, you will receive Bishop's Revealing series, Now I'm Found, on 2 DVDs.
Something that you have been wrestling with and threatening you. God said He's going to bring that thing to His knees.
However, for your gift of $125 or more, you will receive Now I'm Found on 2 DVDs and Secret Agents of Change on 2 DVDs, plus our Agents of Change Transformation Kit that has a notepad, travel mug, and transformed 30-day Journey of Change journal full of encouraging words catered just for you and powerful scriptures, as well as a pen to help you track your transformation. Remove the obstacles in your path with Now I'm Found today.
You're standing in the way of my destiny. You're standing in the way of my prophecy. You're standing in the way of my future. Get out, young man. I'm supposed to be getting you ready for a non-traditional miracle. A miracle that defies anything you have ever seen God do before. I almost call this sermon "The Wait is Over," because somebody's been waiting for 38 years. But the Lord said this Sunday, the wait is.
This is